Hello, this is the Growth League podcast. My name is Caleb Clark, and my mission for this show is pretty simple. It's to learn from marketers on how they're playing the great game of marketing leadership, their ideas, experiences, perspective, wins and losses, and the playbook that they've established over time. Listen, there's more than one way to lead a marketing team and a marketing function. So if you're a VP, a CMO, director, or someone aspiring to fill one of these marketing leadership roles in the future, tune in to learn from some of the best in the business.
I want to grow myself in that way, and I want to work better with the younger staff members, and I don't want to come across to them as a boss. I want to come across to them someone that they can come to, that they can count on, that they know is in their corner. And so I always want to improve myself more to do that for them.
Welcome. Today, my guest is Anechiarico. She is the marketing director of marketing at Teal, Becker, and Sheramonte, firm based in the New York area. Ali, welcome to the show. Glad to have you here.
Hi, Caleb. Thanks so much for having me.
So what's going on for you right now? What's a day in the life of Ali in your role at the firm?
Well, here we are in tax season. So it's very much hustle and bustle around here. So I kind of feel lucky in the fact that I get kind of more of a strategic time for myself. I'm not so focused on working with them directly because it is tax season and everyone's so busy working 50 plus hours a week. So I get to kind of sit back a little bit, be strategic, see where I want things going for the rest of the year, putting together some training ideas and thoughts for the staff, and just doing things that maybe kind of suffered over the year, making a few updates to the website, getting a social media calendar put together. So some good time for me to kind of reorganize and regroup.
Totally. That makes sense. Everyone's like, leave me alone. We got to get our stuff done.
1000%. When I first started here, I quickly learned, because I worked for a law firm previously. So professional services is kind of where my specialty is.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love working with accountants. It's an amazing group of people. But I quickly learned that what the tax deadline dates are and when their busy season is. And actually, it's kind of turned into all season. Every season is busy now.
Right.
But tax specifically, just trying to get everything out the door for corporate and individual tax returns is kind of the prime season, and I know not to bug them too much with my fun.
So you mentioned you love working with accountants, and there's certain challenges and differences and unique components of running a marketing system and a function within an industry like yours, within an organization like yours, where maybe, and I don't know if this is true, but a lot of the partners and stakeholders and people that you work with, they're not spending a lot of their time on marketing strategy. And so tell me about the dynamics of that, and why do you love it so much?
They really trust me and appreciate my skill set, where if I'm coming to them with something, they very much strongly consider it. We don't have to go back and forth too much about different things going on with marketing, because they very much just trust that, like, I am looking out for their best interest and really want to see the firm excel and grow. And so we talk about a lot of different like options and things to do that would be good for this firm and being involved in the community. And it's just, they know where they need the help in the business, and they don't try and micromanage that. And there's so many different personalities at the table. I think that we all very much appreciate what each person brings to the table, and we allow each other to just kind of grow from there.
That's great. Yeah, that's the ideal situation. What role is, at least the way you see it and describe it, what role does the marketing function play in the business and its growth and its hitting of targets and objectives? How do you see that being defined?
Of course, I think marketing is the biggest piece. Everything that, we do in the marketing department, I feel like it touches internally and externally. So we have great referral sources, great clients. So we do bring in a lot of work based on referrals and client growth and such, which is fantastic. And we've had the past 4 or 5 years have been amazing growth years for us, which is, I like to attribute a little of that to the marketing, because in marketing we've kind of accelerated our branding. We had a really great logo, and I just kind of built off that and made everything very brand standards that we didn't have before. Ads were put together, but none of the ads kind of matched. And so just kind of like building the brand and what the building blocks are for the brand and just kind of expanding upon that.
Mhm.
And just kind of adding the branding into our website, which is our biggest marketing platform, I think. And just this past year, some growth with social media. So just different pieces that kind of all needed to be plugged in together. So it's been kind of fun to get to do all that.
That's great. And in driving that and leading that, tell me a little bit about, who you are as a marketing leader. What's your superpower? What's the thing that you feel really confident in leveraging as you go about fulfilling your mandate? Who are you?
Really, to me, it's all about relationships. And I love, love, love to be out in the community and networking and meeting new folks and building on relationships with people that I see often at different events, and running into our clients and referral sources and different people in the community that are really important to Tealbacker and Charmonti. And that I feel is my superpower, is just building the relationships and talking with people and being engaged. And I'm always talking to the staff about, different business development opportunities, and really trying to get people to attend different events. And because accountants they're a little bit more shy. They didn't go to school for marketing, they didn't go to school for sales, they're not part of business development. They went to school thinking, hey, I just get to, do numbers all day and work in spreadsheets. But really, when you're working in public accounting, you do need to help grow the business and build on relationships, whether it's, with the client growth or potential new business. And it's putting yourself out there, and it can be really scary and intimidating to them. So I like to talk about, different opportunities for networking, different avenues where they can easily meet people, whether it's like a smaller niche networking or networking with an association versus a chamber, different community events, golf outings. Accountants love to golf. So getting them in the right situation that might not be as intimidating for them.
Yeah.
Some of the women focused groups, a lot of the women here like to be involved in. So just trying to figure out what might work best for each accountant, and everybody feels differently about it. And some people just aren't into it at all. And that's okay too. But it's about learning about the staff that I'm working with and what works best for them and how I can help them leverage
Yeah.
um, my superpower of networking.
I'm assuming that this is very intentional by you, but what I'm picking up very vividly and clearly is that you are just always thinking about how you can serve the team and how you can unleash their potential, right? Because maybe they, like you said, they haven't been trained in that, they haven't had the experience in doing that. It feels very much like you're there for them. Is that how you see it?
I do. I have better relationships with some of the staff than I do others, just,
Sure.
based on getting to know them better. We work on like business development plans, like personal business development plans. Some folks are more into it than others.
Yeah.
So some people I get to work with closer than I do other folks. And I love to engage with every staff member if I could. But
Right.
unfortunately, there's only one of me to go around. But it's so important to me to see their personal growth.
Yeah.
And I'm their biggest cheerleader. If they're into it and they want to do it, I will do whatever I can to make the right introductions, get them in the right places, and just cheer them along. So
Great.
I hope to, I would love to grow that and engage with more of the staff if I could, because we do have a really great culture here. And even though they work really hard, they play hard. So we try to spend some time together too.
You told me when we first chatted that, like many marketing leaders across different industries, you have a lean internal team. Tell me about some of the challenges that you face and ways you overcome that in dealing with a mountain of work. And I'm imagining there's things that you want to do that you just won't dive into because of that. But tell me about the way you manage the lean internal team, and what are some of the challenges in being able to get everything done when you are in that scenario?
Well, I try and do as much research as possible before I even bring anything to the team. And over the years of working with them, every couple of years, our executive team changes a little bit. I just try and really figure out who is at the table, what their personalities are about different things, and what I need to be ready for, what type of questions I need to be ready for when I bring something new to them.
Mhm.
And I don't always get it right. I try to be as prepared as possible, but their way of thinking sometimes throws me for a loop. And I'm like, huh, never thought of that. Let me, because they're more black and white and I'm more like rainbow about everything. Like, look at this creativity, look at the fun with this. And then they start asking the different questions about it. And I'm like, okay, maybe I didn't think of it that way. And how do I come back and bring them the right answers? So it's about getting buy-in with each person and really, trying to make everybody happy to some extent. It's like picking out a couch in your living room. I love my couch. Everybody that walks in my house is not going to love the same couch that I love. So everybody's going to have different tastes on different things, whether it's, we just redid our lobby, whether it's the furniture I picked out for the lobby. Some people might walk in and be like, we hated this, but other people walk in and love it. So it's just trying to get a happy medium with everybody, bringing the team together and trying to at least see different pros and cons about each thing.
Right. Whether it's digital or new traditional tactics or whatever you're considering within your mix, is there a way that you create clarity for yourself and your team on the business impact that the marketing function is having? How do you do that, especially in a scenario where, the stakeholders that you're working with need to see what is this translating into as it relates to whatever you determine to be a KPI, like, opportunities into the pipeline that book meetings for an intro call. Like, how do you create that line of clarity? And how much of that do you use to inform, if you were to go into TikTok, for example?
So we do like a monthly pipeline meeting,
Okay.
and in there it talks about the sources of where different work comes from, and sometimes they're website leads and sometimes they're referrals. So and we talk about all of that. We talk about how maybe we met someone. Did we meet them at an event? Did the referral come in via website, or maybe it came from one of the bankers that were also, like, in our quarterly meetings I discuss KPIs for website and Google and social media, and talk about different strategies to kind of help grow that and build that, and how we can all be involved together.
Mhm. For yourself, whether it's, these pipeline meetings or different reports, or maybe more if it's a gut feel, is there anything that you've established for yourself that allows you to, when you're driving home after work, know,
Hmm.
hey, did I do a good job today? What do you have in place to be able to answer that question for you? And maybe it's a gut feel thing. I think us as marketing leaders, we can all be our worst critic and we
Hmm.
can have those inside voices. So I'm wondering, what do you rely on to quiet that criticism and say, I did a good job today and here's why?
Yeah, such a good question. I love when I get to have really great chats with my managing shareholder,
Hmm.
because if I feel like he's on board with some of the things that we've got going on and he's feeling good about it, it makes me feel good.
Right.
And not that we need reassurance all the time in life, but it's good to have a little bit to feel like, okay, I'm on the right path, and I'm doing good with that. But yeah, I'm always trying to work harder because I'm trying to always validate. Marketing is a non billable position.
Right.
So
Of
a
course.
lot of companies do look at marketing and operations to some extent as overhead. So I feel like, personally, because I come from old school corporate background, that I'm harder on myself about that. Like, how can I show marketing's value and my value as the director of marketing? How can I show that value being a non billable employee? So it makes me harder, I think, than anything.
Right. Yeah. And that's part of the reason why I ask about what's the linear relationship between the work that the marketing function is putting out and the metrics that the business focuses on from a growth and revenue standpoint? Because I think that you're right. A lot of times marketing departments are seen as a cost center. And so it's our jobs to be able to create that linear relationship and
Mhm.
pursuit. But besides any of that, I think it's very important what you say that your managing shareholder, if there's alignment there and it resonates, there's a sense of understanding, we can't discredit that as being a very important signal of, hey, we're doing the right things, right? And I want to exemplify that as a message to the audience to say, like, it doesn't always have to lie in the exact black and white KPIs, but there's different peripheral ways that you
Yeah.
can define for yourself, are we having impact? Are we doing a good job? So thanks for sharing.
Of course. And I think too, just looking at like our growth over the past few years and stuff. And like I said, I don't, attribute that all to marketing, but we have, I like to think, I might be biased, but we have the best reputation in the capital region of New York. And we're the largest firm this is our home base. So this is our community. And so when we're so involved, and then I see the growth that we've had over the past few years, I
Yeah,
feel such pride about that. Like
totally.
I said, not that it's all marketing, but we have a big and it's exciting and there's growth happening, and it's a really exciting time here at the firm.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. That's another great point too, is that, sometimes the indicator of success is just seeing the overall C level rise. And if
Mhm.
that's rising, it doesn't matter who it's attributed to, at the end of the
Right.
day, because it's a team. So you work with some young folks, interns, and you have an internal person. What thoughts do you have if you could kind of share with them? These are folks, let's assume, that want to, grow their career through marketing, a coordinator, a manager, a director.
Mhm.
What are some of the things that you would impart to them? Perhaps you have already, as some advice for growing and learning in their careers.
My marketing coordinator, he started as an intern after he graduated, and he brings a freshness of ideas, and I'm so appreciative of him. And I just try and guide him into kind of like the basics of marketing at this point. We try to work together on, and I mean, I hope I'm really, I want to see him grow and do so well in his career. And I one day want him to look back and be like, oh, when I worked with Allie, that was just fantastic. And I've learned X, Y, and Z. So I do try and work with him on um, different things with graphics and website and even a student out of college, even Outlook, just kind of the importance of the calendar and keeping everything organized and then growing from there. Yeah, we're kind of starting at the basics of marketing, and I'm letting him kind of lead the charge on ideas for the social media calendar. And once we talk about things and go through things, then I say, look, I'm entrusting you with this and it's yours. And I'm not going to micromanage that. Like I trust you to be a part of that. And I think he enjoys that. And we work really well together. So I'm seeing a bright future for him. And I hope that I can give him as much as a leadership, empowerment type feeling if,
Mm.
we ever part ways.
Well, that's great. And what about a mindset that you would encourage young marketers to have if they find themselves in a company and they want to grow? What would you share with them about?
Um, Work hard, show your value. That's just what I have always done. Continuing education, it's very, very unfortunate. There's no specific rules behind continuing education for marketers like there are for CPAs and attorneys and HR professionals. They all have designations that they have to do. Some are 40 hours a year that they have to keep these designations. So it's very unfortunate that marketing doesn't have that, where we have specific designation where we have to do continuing education. So we have to take it upon ourselves to participate in, certificate programs or webinars or educational opportunities like through the American Marketing Association, just different places where you can continue to find value for yourself and grow yourself because it's up to you to stay on top of the latest trends.
Yeah, that's great. Let me leave you with this question. Where do you want to see your own personal growth go? What's the is there a specific discipline you want to learn more about, or do you want to develop more as a leader in certain ways? What's the next chapter look like for Ali in your desired state of evolution?
I'm huge on leadership right now. I am constantly reading different leadership books, and I not only want to grow my marketing skill set, I want to grow me as a person. And it's a challenge working with so many different personalities and trying to find a way to, find a common ground with different people. So I want to grow myself in that way. And I want to work better with the younger staff members. And I don't want to come across to them as a boss. I want to come across to them someone that they can come to, that they can count on, that they know is in their corner. And so I always want to improve myself more to do that for them.
That's awesome. I'm going to check in with you in a few months from now and see how that's going.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to keep checking in with you on this because it's just such a passion of mine. Leadership is a passion of mine, and I don't ever want anything to come across, as a boss. I want to collaborate together with people.
That's great. Well, the firm's growing. You have intention of growing. I like your approach to playing the game. Ali, thank you so much for sharing
Of course.
your journey.
Thanks for having me. This is fun.